There's been a lot of emotion and outrage in Australia this week with regards to the comments of a radio announcer made against one of Australia's most loved teams, the Matildas, who are going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment. Marty Sheargold from Triple M has lost his job after these comments were made earlier in the week.
You know what they remind me of? Year 10 girls. Now, I'm sorry to undermine the whole sport, but that's what I think of it, so you can stick it up.
So we're playing in the She Believes Cup.
Oh, She Believes in what? It better be men! The Asian Cup. I'd rather hammer a nail through the head of my watch that. Got any men's sport?
For me, it was really interesting to watch the outrage erupt on social media. Most of those people would never have heard of his radio show had it not been amplified across Instagram, TikTok and whichever platform you choose to use. But when I heard the description that it was a foul-mouthed tirade talking about the Matildas, I couldn't also help thinking about this.
Oh my God.
They wouldn't do that. You should have spoken to the...
You guys are stupid and white. Honestly, you guys are stupid and white.
That's the Matildas captain Sam Kerr, who is out injured at the moment, expected to make a comeback fairly soon. She also emerged from a court case with a unanimous jury decision that she was found not guilty of racially aggravated harassment of that police officer. Now, circumstances aside, and of course there are two very different stories, but when we talk about the ability to criticise, what is the line between what is funny and what is not funny, particularly when it comes to the comments of a comedian? The other thing people have spoken about is comparisons to how we talk about women's teams and how we talk about men's teams. I'll be honest, I've heard plenty of people say they'd rather watch paint dry than watch some of the men's teams that are going around. So, are we now having discussions that are different between men and women? And isn't the pursuit of equality and equal treatment and putting men's and women's teams on the same platform mean that we can talk about them, criticise them, support them, praise them in equal measure? Frankly, when I first heard the comments, I thought, who cares? Who cares what someone thinks who is rooted in maybe 1970s with these sorts of attitudes? I don't care. I'm not giving him any credit. He can say whatever he likes. Because I know that that is not the case. I know that this is a team that has done well, that has magnified the place of women's sport here in Australia, as many other teams have done. Incredibly successful teams, mind you. The Matildas are yet to win an Olympic Games medal. And, they've got a chance with the Asian Cup coming up in 2026, and let's hope they perform better at the next World Cup. They got to the semi-finals in 2023 on the back of a lot of momentum in Australia. But we've got the Australian Women's Rugby Sevens team who won a gold medal at the Olympics. We've got the women's cricket team that have won everything that is going. There's a lot to praise in women's sport, and there's a lot of women, men, girls and boys that will sing those praises. So, where does criticism fit? I don't know, but perhaps the best comments of all came from one of Australia's leading basketballers, Kelsey Griffin.
For me, to be honest, the most disappointing part was that his co-host didn't step up and say, it's actually not really funny. I think that's where I would love progression to be. People have opinions, but can we also then either challenge those opinions or be comfortable and confident enough to say, you might believe that, but that's not how I feel about it. And so, whilst not surprising, disappointing, and it's something that I'm not going to spend much more time thinking about because I've got bigger things to do in my life.